Welcome to our wallet-based digital health prototype. The idea and the use case was around for a while, and the first prototype was built at the March 2024 GovTech Hackathon by our fantastic team. This prototype won the award for the most advanced implementation, handed over by the Swiss Federal Chancellor. Check out the show notes for more information. We are now working on a follow-up project where we level up the initial implementation to portability and a full-fledged architecture. It is still early work in progress and it looks pretty technical, but don't worry, we continue working on it. Here is the very simple use case. In his Practitioner Information System, medical doctor Charles Brewster prescribes a drug to his patient John Miller. This prescription is passed on to John Miller as a verifiable credential, and John stores it in the wallet on his mobile device. Let's have a look at the involved systems and the interactions. Dr. Brewster uses his system where his patients and available drugs are stored. In addition, this system has a handler for verifiable credentials. John Miller uses the wallet on his mobile device where he stores his verifiable credentials. To ensure interoperability, common health data objects are defined in json-ld format. Clinical healthcare standards such as openEHR and FHIR will be used going forward. In the current prototype implementation, functionalities are provided through RESTful APIs for the time being, so most things look pretty technical. For a full cycle demonstration, I am handing over to Oliver, who did most of this prototype's coding.
I would now like to show you a full round trip of the health SSI proof of concept that we've implemented using the Vault ID identity infrastructure that includes a web-hosted wallet, an issuer, and a verifier service. You can see the web-hosted wallet on the left, and on the right-hand side, my iPhone that is hosting the custom mobile app that we developed. The wallet currently has two verifiable credentials, and we'll be focusing on the Swiss medical prescription here. That is also the only one that is displayed within the wallet at the moment. The medical prescription follows the Swiss e-medication plan specification. Here we've implemented the prescription part only and also not yet the posology. Looking at the credential itself, you can see the data that has the doctor, the medication itself using the GTIN number and the patient information. Now, to issue a new prescription, we'll typically go to the Practitioner Information System. This part of the application we haven't yet finished, so we don't have a nice user interface. So this is just the direct interaction with the backend. I already have created a new prescription, again for patient John Miller, for another medication, in this case digoxin. And I can then use the identity of this prescription to issue a verifiable credential down here. So, this has now created an OpenID credential offer. This could in theory be directly imported into the Vault ID web wallet. In this case, however, we're going to show how this can be loaded using the mobile app that we developed and a QR code. So I'm just going to wrap this into a QR code and then take the app and scan this. Here we go. And it has recognized that this is a prescription for digoxin. I will accept that. And the second prescription is now visible. I can also validate that in the web wallet. Here we go for the second prescription. Again for John Miller, and this time it's the digoxin. So now on the other side, on the pharmacy side, similarly, we will now go to the presentation flow of that verifiable credential prescription. Again, this will provide a QR code. We will scan the code here, and it allows me to select which prescription I want to show. I'm going to, in this case, select the digoxin and submit. And this will do all the verification in the backend and provide the information to the pharmacy. So the validation has succeeded. There's some information on when this was issued, when it expires, and of course the information of the medication for the patient.
So let's have a look at the technologies of the prototype. The user interface and the business logic is built based on the Kotlin multi-platform framework. With this, the solution can run on iOS, Android, and even in browsers and on desktop systems. For functions around verifiable credentials, the Vault ID framework with its libraries is used. Where do we want to go from here? Beside a modular architecture and friendly user interface, we aim to make structured clinical information available as verifiable credentials. Today, clinical data is mostly stored and exchanged in free text documents, which are difficult to query in an automated way. Meanwhile, most stakeholders have understood that clinical information would be needed in a structured form for further processing. With today's technology, this would be implemented with centralized servers. However, as Swiss citizens are very sensitive to whom they make their personal healthcare information available, decentralized wallet-based storage is particularly suitable for these requirements. So, as you can see, there is still quite a way to go. Stay tuned and visit us regularly.